Okay, welcome to my how to crab video. I was lucky enough to get taught by the master, Jack down at Bunbury, that makes these Draggin Lady crab nets. He doesn't make them anymore, but a bloke does make a copy. I like these things. I get the triple rings because they sit nice and flat on the ground. And I keep my floats separate. I just have a little spliced eye at the top, and you might notice that I keep my bait basket underneath. That's because down Bunbury way the dolphins squeeze the plastic cages and get the bait out, so if you keep them underneath they can't do that. So here's all my crab floats, and you might notice I keep them in fives, 4 normals and an end. And the reason for that is obviously I keep the end on the ends and the others, and I have 2 of those for my 10 nets. You have your float grabber, you want this as big as possible, but not so big that when you come along try and catch your float, it's going to snap out of it, so you see it just catches those floats, so it's nice and big. And finally, these blue plastic crab gauges, they're worth their weight in gold. For $3 or $4, see how nice and thick they are? They make it so much easier to measure your crabs. Because they're reinforced, they don't bend in and out at all. Okay, so this is how I have my pile of crab nets in the boat. The line's just loosely rolled up. Grab the loop, grab your shark clip, get it off the bundle. Shark clip onto the loop, throw her off the side of your boat. Away she goes. Obviously that comes up. The float will keep those guide bridle lines ever so slightly outside the crab net, and you're good to go. Okay, so here we have some crab nets just set out on the lawn, simulated to be laid into the wind. So you can see each float's coming down towards us because the wind is coming from that direction. So you bring the boat up. I like to keep it on the right hand side where the driver's seat is. Come along, scoop the net up, and I try to keep as much slack as I can in that rope, because what I don't want to do, so I'll just pull this out. I don't want to start doing this until the pull is properly on. So I try and keep it slack, 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 and then bang up and pull it all the way into the boat. Do what you need to do. Come up along. Grab your next little float. Keep everything nice and loose. And once you've got the line on, bang, up she comes. That way the little crabbies can't go sideways and escape. Okay, done. So we have our float and rope in our hands, almost ready to take up the slack in the line and start pulling up and jerking it up before the crabs work out what's going on. I see too many people fart around and fart around, and it gives the crabs a chance to go around. You should pull hard enough that the crabs flip completely upside down under the force of the weight of the water going past them. So what I do is imagine this hook is the side of the boat. Come along, crab. I keep the float in the water and I pull. Hand over hand, nice big hands pulling this way, straight up. I don't do this thing where you see people trying to pull a net with their thumbs up. That's the worst possible way. I can't understand how people do that. They get all tangled up. And because you're going into the wind, this little float is getting dragged away from you. So all that slack's going away and not getting tangled up with what you're pulling in. So I'll just show you, because we're actually into the wind in the lawn here. So as I'm pulling up, pull, 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 that's getting kicked away down that way and out of my way, and then bang. I'm not standing and tangling over all the little double-ended bits of the rope. All I've got is my net in my hand, the float's floated away, and we're good to go. Okay, here's an example of nets laid across the wind. Some people like to do that because the theory is that as the wind and the current comes this way, you've got a much wider area of scent going down to attract the crabs. Not a problem in Mandurah, where everything's much the same depth. In the Swan and places like that where you've got drop-offs and you lay along the edge of the drop-off, generally the wind doesn't pay a lot of importance to where you lay them. The drop-off's more important than the wind, but see, in this case, you'll come along and you'll grab it, and if you can, try and have enough slack on the top of the water that your boat doesn't go chicka 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 over, because there's a theory that the crabs think that the boat is a stingray and they'll leave. Don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I've been told. So yet again, give yourself a little rope on the top, pull it up, bang, straight up. Okay, I'll just show you how I do these floats. The line has these little black flecks in there. Every time there's a black fleck, you just go under 2, go under 1, 2 go under 1, 2 go under 1, 2 go under 1. That will never come apart. And the same at this end. Got a swivel, which is nice, and just a little itty bitty sharp hook. It just goes straight on. Bob's your uncle. I find that really convenient, and the nets sit in the boat so much flatter when you can just maybe hook these onto each other or come onto a line along the side of the boat. Keeps them out of the way.